Hey guys, Paul Shirey from JoBlo.com. We are here at CinemaCon in Las Vegas, Caesar's Palace.
Think about it though, for a minute.
I did. I had to give it some thought.
And,
I'm here with Sean Wist, and we just got out of the Sony panel, and we're going to talk everything we saw. So
everything.
Probably one of the biggest and most notable things that we saw was the first trailer and a little bit of behind-the-scenes stuff for The Dark Tower, the Stephen King book, finally being adapted. What is it, like 12? So I've never read
Lots
any
of
the
books, more than one.
There's a lot of them. I haven't read any of the books, so for me, watching the trailer, kind of going in completely unbiased. I know nothing. I don't have any basis for the book. I've read the comics a while before. But for me, it looks cool. I think it looks good. I really like the gunslinger is just like badass. Like his
Idris Elba, like he can't not be badass.
Yeah, I mean, just
he's not that good of an actor. He can't be a non-badass. Like, no, he was awesome. Of course, McConaughey as a villain, like a really dark villain. In fact, the gunslinger describes him as the person who would like kick the devil like a dog, something like that. It's not verbatim, but something like
Basically,
that,
he's
just
worse
to
than
sell the
the
gravity of McConaughey being just this uber villain, which sounded really cool.
Uber villain.
Uber
he
villain.
is cool. You call him, and he will come and pick you up. No, he is. He does look really cool. There's some really.
But he doesn't take you where you want to go. Like he just fucking drops you off.
Definitely not. The stuff that I really dug was the speed reload shit. That,
that
the gunslinger does.
He is like the gunslinger.
Yeah,
like he just like dumps bullets into his revolver and just bam.
Yeah,
like,
he's
in
got
seconds.
basically his whole belt is like filled with. I mean, he's just fucking speed reloading.
He's got a lot going on down there. There's a bit of a
almost
standoff that they show between the gunslinger and the man in black, and of course McConaughey, as I'm sure his character name will be revealed to be, has like telekinetic powers, and him and the gunslinger just facing off was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
A little silly. It's kind of reminded me
kind of a Matrix.
Yeah, like a Matrix Dark City
like
kind of
Matrix
vibe. But I'm sure
showdown.
like Stephen King fans are gonna like just
Yeah,
eat
but
it up.
at least they're gonna have a showdown. I think that's kind of
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
me, it's like,
so it's not gonna like tease you with it. Like
this isn't like The Fifth Element. The fact that the main protagonist and the main antagonist
never run into each other.
Kind of was a big letdown. So
if you hate Fifth Element, you'll love The Dark Tower. JoBlo.com. Put that on the Blu-ray box.
Put that on the Blu-ray box.
You're welcome. Love you,
Anyways,
Sony.
Dark Tower I think it looks pretty cool. I look forward to hearing what you guys have to say about it. But I'm definitely there. And again, I'm coming as somebody that never read the books and
Doesn't know how to read.
Don't know how to read yet, but when I
learn,
learn, I will start. Well, to kick it off, before we even got into it, they showed the opening sequence. I guess he said Edgar Wright.
Well, a sequence. Did they say it was opening?
I think he said it was opening sequence of Baby Driver.
A full sequence of Baby Driver, where we get to see exactly how the music plays into the film. It's almost like a music video, pretty much. I mean, it is.
Yes. Edgar Wright came out after the sequence, and he had said that basically the way he sold the movie to his producer was that it was a music cut to a movie, some shit like that. I forget the exact quote.
Sure.
It's on Twitter.
Yeah.
Music was written into the script, and it was played on the set, and everything. It was used in the rehearsals and everything. So, music is.
It definitely shows. Even Ansel was like, I listen to the music, all the time on set just to get in the mindset of the character. And sometimes it plays really well into the scene, as you said, like the car chase we saw, which by the way was very well shot. Like any action sequence, it's all in the editing. And this is very clean editing, like nice long shots. It's not that shaky cam, quick cuts to try to hide poor directing. Edgar Wright has always been very good at directing action scenes. And that doesn't change here.
Yeah.
Even though the movie looks silly as fuck.
Edgar's style is on, it's on full display. The editing, the quick cuts, and really the editing is like Edgar Wright has got that down to a fucking science. And to me, that's always the biggest sell for any movie that he does. They're always just so fucking beautifully chopped. And Baby Driver looks that way as well. I agree to a point though. It is like it's kind of a gimmick.
It's kind of cartoony, but like that's what they're selling with the movie.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you like Edgar Wright, and very few people don't, so this is definitely up his alley. It's not probably going to have the substance of some of his other movies, maybe. I don't know. That's hard to tell.
Yeah,
not that we saw.
Then they jumped into the animation slate, which I have to be honest, like just unimpressive. Like Smurfs. Listen, I have a kid. I go see a lot of kid movies. I'm going to tell my kid that the Smurfs movie doesn't exist.
The Emoji Movie is next, unless you want to talk more Smurfs.
No, I don't. The Emoji Movie looks, I hate to say it, because I really like TJ Miller. and I really like the cast, but I mean, unfortunately, like the Emoji Movie, it looks very like
It's typical.
Yeah, it looks like
Typical,
generic,
like here's your generic animated
they dropped
shit.
in all this stuff and
Pop culture references, but I'll give it up for Patrick Stewart as
a piece of shit.
As a piece of poop. I
Patrick
identified
Stewart.
with him in the small moment he had.
Yeah, and then there was a like kind of rough trailer for The Star, which is
Nativity movie
retelling-
told from the point of view of the animals. Nobody gives a shit.
I mean, there it is. The other one was a Peter Rabbit movie, and the animation was so
Oh yeah,
raw.
it
They
was-
really shouldn't have shown any of it, but they did.
It'd probably be more entertaining as is. Like just as that.
Just play it as like the raw.
Yeah, just this rough animatic
We
of a
don't even
bunny.
fucking care.
Like,
Just watch it.
Bunny going through the forest. This is like the Endor speeder bike chase, except horrible.
Sony Animation Slate. They did mention Hotel Transylvania 3, which is done by my boy Gendy Tartakovsky. But Samurai Jack is playing right now, the final season. That's really all you need to care about from Gendy.
You didn't even like.
Then they got into Blade Runner 2049, which is definitely a film everybody is either looking forward to or dreading, depending on how
Both.
much you love the first
Simultaneously.
one. They brought out Ryan Gosling. He introduced the trailer. If that's an actual, I don't know if it's a trailer or if it was like a sneak
Something
peek.
that we just got
One
to
thing
see.
about CinemaCon, you don't really know if it's an actual trailer or something that they cut specifically for this venue.
It was from the movie. We know that.
Yeah. Anyways, we got our first look at this trailer footage, and it looks amazing. Denis Villeneuve has definitely crafted yet another fucking, at least a visually stunning movie. But I have no doubt that the performances are going to be great too, just from the little peaks that we got.
Like, I felt the same way about this as I did the teaser. Like, it looks amazing, but it's like, what is the meat of the story? Am I going to care? You know, like I did the original film,
I think that was one of the things I noticed too. Is like it's definitely got a lot of intrigue, a lot of mystery, a lot of like I don't know what's happening, but I know that something is happening. Like some shit is going down. They showed Jared Leto's character, which looks to be like kind of a creator of the androids. Fuck, my brain's not working.
Replicants?
Replicants.
Yeah.
He's
it's very
actually, like-
Westworld-like, actually. When they're walking
Yeah.
through the hall, you see some of the replicants in glass, and then one is kind of just birthed out of a bag, like it steamed up some veggies in the microwave, just like popping up.
And then Jared Leto's there, like very creepy, like as the creator.
Yeah,
like, oh, it's your
creepier
birthday.
than he ever was as the Joker, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Anyways,
Yeah,
it
damn sure.
looks cool. I think that'd be a good role for him. And then they showed Robin Wright as what I can only assume is like the boss. Of,
Yeah, Ryan Gosling's
of-
boss,
yeah,
which I
the
assume
cops,
is
so-
his name in the movie too. But they like it was like rainy outside and they're inside the building. It was like that scene on Camino in Attack of the Clones and shit, except well acted.
That's the craziest reference ever.
That's what I thought about it.
Anyway,
Fucking
she
love
looks
Star
like
Wars.
very hardcore, very like, you know.
No nonsense lady.
Yeah, no
so
nonsense.
different from anything you've
Very
ever
serious.
seen her in. It looks
She's
amazing.
awesome.
It really harkens back to the cinematography of the first movie.
Yeah. There's a lot of scenes that really feel like they really lived in that same universe, which is really, really cool.
Yeah, although
So-
most of the stuff we saw with Harrison Ford was in kind of the same location, so it kind of leads me to believe it's kind of that glorified cameo. Like, how much time does he have in the movie? I mean, do we really want him that much in the movie? It depends on the fucking story.
And there is one scene where he like punches somebody or something that is in a different scene, but he's still just wearing that fucking gray T-shirt. And that's it.
Yeah, what's up with that? Like, he went to wardrobe and he's just like, nah. Hopefully it's good. It looks visually, it looks stunning.
I think it looks pretty damn amazing. Out of all the films that we saw on the Sony slate, Blade Runner 2049 is definitely the one that I'm
like
most
The
excited
Star and then Blade Runner 2049.
for. Just underneath.
It's right there.
They showed a couple quick flashes of some different projects. One of them was Cadaver, which is a horror film with Shay Mitchell, which I believe we actually went on a set visit for, so you can look for that soon. And then they showed a trailer for Flatliners, the remake of Flatliners,
Oh,
even
yeah.
though they didn't put the title up. So
It left the audience guessing,
they're
but we
like,
know.
Whatever it is, you'll see it.
You'll see it.
Looks exactly
Like the original.
The original Flatliners. So we also got to look at a movie called Proud Mary, which has Taraji P. Henderson returning to the role, which is from Smokin' Aces as the assassin character. They showed her going out, loading up a gun, and then all of a sudden they're like, Taraji P. Henderson is Proud Mary. So there you are. There's a Smokin' Aces spinoff that I had no idea was even happening.
And it very much falls in line with
There
the
it is.
style of Smoking Aces too. So if you dug that movie, it's definitely something to keep an eye on in case, it could be,
It's a cool
sleeper of some
It's
sort.
a very interesting spinoff that I never saw coming, but yeah, it totally could work.
I didn't even know what it was. He had
Why
to
not?
tell me.
There it is. I told you.
I don't know movies.
All right.
All right, get the fuck off
That's
me.
it. So actually, I thought what was interesting is that they brought out Kevin Feige came out to talk Spider-Man, and as well as Tom Holland and Amy Pascal. Feige coming out is the first time that I've ever seen him in public addressing the Sony MCU crossover.
I mean, he could have been a hologram. I don't.
That's true.
But they say it was him. So.
What he did say that I thought was most interesting was that the way that they approached the Spider-Man crossover is that basically they're saying that Spider-Man has always been in the MCU. Like when all the stuff, the events were happening, when Iron Man came around, like Peter Parker was like 3 or 4 years old.
Yeah, so he's just a little Parker.
Yeah,
I mean, bigger than that, but like.
So
just a little
basically,
guy.
he's always existed in the MCU, but now is when he's emerging,
Able to
finally
take action.
becoming
So
Spider-Man. So I think that's
it makes sense.
I thought that's
It's
pretty cool. They showed the trailer, which I don't know. By now, maybe you guys have seen it, or depending on when you're watching this video, it should be dropping very soon. I thought it looked good. I'm not dying for a new Spider-Man movie, to be honest. I really like Tom Holland as the character. I think it looks cool, but I'm not like overly enthused. I don't know.
I feel the same way, but it does at the same time expand on some of the things that were interesting in the first trailer. For example, Michael Keaton, we get a little bit more of him being really kind of a, what's the word? Just a villainous. I mean, he's a fucking villain, but like
Michael Keaton, he's
really sinister actually in the way he delivers his lines and stuff like that. It looks like he had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah. I think that's the main thing. Is he looks like he's having fun.
And at some point in the movie, Spider-Man tries to save the day, and there's that brief scene with the ship ripping apart, and he's trying to hold it together, and Iron Man helps him out, and he's like, "No, I'm taking the suit back."
Yeah,
you
that
don't
was
deserve
very
that shit.
interesting. Yeah.
It's like he's punishing him, but eventually he kind of goes rogue and does his own thing anyway to stop Vulture.
Which is interesting because I kind of felt like the movie would start off with him in his Spidey pajamas, but it looks like that's where the conflict is going to come about, is that he's going to have to earn that suit.
Yeah, which kind of makes sense given he has the suit in Civil War. So this takes place after. They got to give him a reason to take away all the stuff.
Yeah.
Like Metroid.
I really, really like the fact that they're taking away the costume. I think that makes kind of a world of difference.
And to go back to the costume, I actually like that they explore a few more things that I always wondered about the costume. Like, he actually puts it on and it's pretty baggy, and then he kind of hits the button and it like tightens up, and I'm like, I like that detail. And like, there's that scene where his friend tries on the costume, his nerdy friend, looks ridiculous, of course, because he's fat. And of course, there's a scene where there's a little drone that flies out of his chest.
Yes.
I don't know what the purpose.
Well, we were talking about that earlier when they
is.
showed the tease, and I was like, I thought that was a drone from the Vulture, but no, that was like.
Yeah, he's got a little chesticle.
So this Spider-Man's got all kinds of gadgets.
Yeah. It's a good time. It's gonna be fun, kids.
I'm sure it's gonna be a fun movie. I think it'll be good. I don't know that it's gonna be great, but
it's gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah, it's gonna. You're gonna see it.
You're gonna see it. I'll see it. I'll see it. Just see that fat kid trying the suit. I love you, you fat fuck.
All right, so the last thing that we saw was the trailer debut from Jumanji. We literally just got
Welcome
out
to
of
the
there,
jungle.
So welcome
Jumanji,
to the jungle.
welcome to the jungle.
Is now the title. We literally just got out of there, so I don't know if it's online. It said it's the worldwide debut, so I don't know if it's already online.
It's premiere.
But anyways, I will say my expectations for it were pretty low. Although growing up, I worked in an electronics store when DVD players first came out. And the only DVD we had was Jumanji.
And it's been his favorite movie ever since.
Continuously,
he just loves it.
So I have kind of a soft hatred.
Soft hatred. I think it's a hard hatred.
It hangs in my soul. It's not that I really hate the movie per se. It's just that it's played so many times that it's like kind of destroyed the mythology and anything to do with Jumanji.
I don't think it's a particularly great movie. It was just kind of a fun popcorn movie for its time, but Robin Williams, people love Robin Williams.
It was pretty gimmicky, like just, hey, look at this CGI with these animals running all over.
Horrible CGI.
I will say this. The angle that they've taken for this, sequel, it's more just a sequel than anything, I guess.
I mean, technically it's a sequel, but it kind of feels like its own thing, too.
Yeah, it really does.
It could have been called something different from Jumanji, but the premise is it's actually a video game, and these four people, like the fucking Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
It should have been a Breakfast Club remake. People would have been so mad. They have to go to detention, and for some reason are sent to a basement, because that would actually happen. But they find
going to the basement.
the basement, the dungeon. Could have been a different movie.
Anything.
They just get high, and that's the movie. Anyway, they could be high. That could be the twist.
They might be.
Shyamalan.
That's it.
It's part of the Split universe now.
That's what it is.
Anyway, they play a video game, and the characters you see, like The Rock and Karen Gillan's character and Jack Black and shit, they're actually avatars in the video game. So it kind of makes sense that they're looking like cartoony in the way they do. And in fact, it's once you see the premise and the original kids and who they're playing, it's kind of fun.
Yeah,
like, I was pleasantly surprised by the trailer. It's funny. You know,
it's very self-aware in that way, and it's almost, I want to say fish out of water. That's not quite the right term, but basically these kids that are kind of nerdy or like really popular or really athletic are suddenly, each one of them has a character trait that is not usually them. So all of a sudden, like the kid that becomes The Rock, he's like the skinny,
yeah, he's like a nerdy
kid,
dude.
All of a sudden he's like, he's like, oh my god, and he's like touching his bicep. And then Karen Gillan's character, a lot of people were complaining early on about the wardrobe, but she's basically playing a Tomb Raider game.
Yeah, Tomb Raider's a great reference because that's kind of exactly what it is.
Yeah, and so and she's like kind of like, and really she's not like an ugly girl. She's just like kind of not self-aware of her beauty or whatever. And so now she's like super hot, and then the super hot girl, ironically, becomes Jack Black.
Which looks pretty good. Like he was okay in the trailer, but I think they'll have some fun with that premise.
I think it's gonna be fun.
The action looked decent too, for what it's worth. I wasn't expecting anything out of it, but I enjoyed watching the trailer.
Yeah, I think coming into Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Thank you, Paul.
I think for me, my expectations were set very low, and now it actually looks like a movie that I'm kind of excited to see.
You heard it here first. Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, warming Paul's cold heart after the travesty that was Jumanji.
And we're all going to have my first tongue twister.
He doesn't know what he's doing.
All right, so that was it for the Sony panel. Sean's laughing. He's having a good time. Look for our coverage. We got many more presentations to come. We've got Fox.
I'm having a great time, Paul.
We got many more presentations to come. So yeah, stick with us. Check us out on JoBlo.com. You can read the article with a little more detailed description. You can watch the video, whichever one suits you best, and we will see you on the next video.
See ya.
Here in Las Vegas at CinemaCon.
Goodbye.
20 seconds.
You're still here. It's over. Go home. You expecting Sam Jackson show up with an eye patch and a saucy little leather number? Go.